I took the microphone at my sister's wedding. "I have a gift for Emma," I said with a smile. The envelope in my hand was small, but the documents inside would turn my entire family's life upside down. "Before I read these documents," I said, "everyone should probably sit down. My name is Rachel. I'm 29 years old, and I'm about to tell you the story of the biggest revenge I've ever taken. This is the story of how a wedding ceremony turned into a court of justice. It all started 6 months ago at my sister Emma's engagement party with the words, 'You look really bad in these photos.' That night at the luxury restaurant in Atlanta, I understood how my family really saw me. 'Rachel looks so weird in these photos,' my mother Patricia said with a smile. 'Maybe she could be in fewer wedding photos?' Emma immediately agreed. Actually, I was thinking the same thing. Rachel probably doesn't want to be a bridesmaid anyway. She's too introverted." My father William nodded. "It's Emma's day. Let her decide." That night, driving home, I tried to hold back my tears. For 25 years, I'd been trying to belong to this family. I was the one who did Emma's homework, solved her friendship problems, prepared her college applications. But now I was a source of embarrassment on her perfect day. The wedding invitation arrived the following week. My name wasn't on it. I called my mother. "Mom, there's a mistake on the invitation. My name isn't written." "Oh, honey," Patricia said, with no sadness in her voice. "Emma had to narrow down the guest list. You understand? Budget constraints." "Budget constraints?" I asked. "Emma's wedding is costing $80,000. Rachel, please don't be dramatic. This is Emma's day." When I hung up, something changed inside me. I was being dramatic. For 25 years, I'd been the only non-dramatic person in this family. That night, I opened my computer and started researching Emma's fiancé, David Peterson. Since I worked as a private investigator, I was good at research. But the family didn't know this. They still thought Rachel works at a small insurance company. David Peterson, 32 years old, lawyer in Boston. On the surface, he looked perfect. But I loved investigating beneath the surface. The first thing I found was a speeding ticket David got in Massachusetts last year. Not a big deal. The second thing I found was more interesting. A restraining order that David's ex-girlfriend Jessica Brown had taken out against him. The third thing I found was explosive. David Peterson was married. Still married. He had married his wife Amanda Peterson in Las Vegas in 2019. And they had never divorced. They were just living separately. I couldn't breathe. Emma was about to commit bigamy and had no idea. But the really shocking part was who Amanda Peterson was. She was an assistant district attorney for the state of Georgia. And the alimony David paid her was taking up a large portion of what Emma thought was his lawyer income. I dug deeper. David's credit report was a disaster. $120,000 in credit card debt, overdue car loan payments, and unpaid alimony debts to Amanda. Emma thought she was marrying a wealthy lawyer. In reality, she was marrying a bankrupt bigamist con artist. And my family kept praising Emma's perfect choice. I expanded my research. David's law office in Boston was just a virtual office. His real address was Amanda's house, and for the past 6 months, he'd been using the loans he got from Emma to pay alimony to Amanda. Emma had given him $25,000 for an investment opportunity. That night, Emma posted a message in our family WhatsApp group. Had dinner with David at an amazing restaurant. I'm so lucky." In the photo, she was smiling with David, the same David who was in a court battle with his wife at that very moment. A week later was the wedding rehearsal. Of course, I wasn't invited, but Emma's friend Melissa called me. "Rachel, something really weird happened. David's ex-girlfriend came to the wedding venue. She wanted to talk to Emma." "What did she say?" "Emma wouldn't listen to her. She dismissed her as David's jealous ex. But that woman was saying something about marriage." It was Jessica Brown, David's ex, who had gotten a restraining order against him, and she was trying to warn Emma. That night, I found Jessica. She was living at her mother's house because David had financially ruined her. "Are you his sister?" she asked when I called her. "Yes. And I think there are things I need to know about David." Jessica laughed. "Things you need to know? Which one should we start with? That he's still married? Or that he conned me out of $30,000? "Tell me everything," I said. An hour later, I learned that David was a complete con artist. He had taken money from Jessica, promised her marriage, then reconciled with Amanda and left Jessica. Now he was playing the same game with Emma. "I'm ready to testify in court," Jessica said. "But no one listens to me." "I'm listening," I said. The wedding day arrived. It was the last Saturday in April. A magnificent ceremony for 200 people at the Grand Chateau outside Atlanta. I wasn't invited, but I got in thanks to my old friend Marcus, who was working security. I wore a black dress and blended in among the guests. Before the ceremony started, I saw Emma. She was an angel in her wedding dress. Happy, excited, completely unaware. David looked perfect as the groom. Strong, handsome, trustworthy. But I knew his true face. During the wedding ceremony, when the pastor said, "Does anyone object to this marriage?" my heart raced. But I stayed silent. It wasn't time yet. The ceremony ended. Everyone applauded. We watched Emma and David's first dance. My family was bursting with pride. Then came dinner time and speech time. William stood up. "Dear guests," he said, "we're so happy today. Emma found a wonderful man. David is a great groom and—" I stood up. "Excuse me," I said loudly. "I'd like to add something." Everyone turned to me. Emma looked confused. Patricia was panicking. "Rachel," my mother whispered. "What are you doing?" I took the microphone. I had my envelope in my hand. "I have a gift for Emma," I said with a smile. "Before I read these documents, everyone should probably sit down." Silence. 200 people held their breath. "David," I said into the microphone, "when are you going to give Amanda Peterson the divorce papers?" David's face went white. "Amanda Peterson," I said, turning to the guests. "David's wife. Yes, wife. Because David and Amanda got married in Las Vegas in 2019 and never divorced." Screams erupted. Emma was frozen. "And do you know what this means?" I continued. "This wedding is invalid because David is already married." I opened the envelope and pulled out the papers. Here we have David and Amanda's marriage certificate. Here we have the alimony checks David paid to Amanda. And here, I held up the last paper, is proof that David used the $25,000 he took from Emma to pay alimony. Emma screamed. "This isn't true! David, tell her these are lies!" David tried to stand up, but Marcus stopped him. "David," I said, "do you remember Jessica Brown? Jessica, who got a restraining order against you? She's here too." Jessica came out from the back. "Hello, David. So you're playing the same game with someone else?" The hall erupted. Guests were standing up. Emma was crying. Patricia looked like she was going to faint. And finally, I said, continuing to use the microphone, David's real financial situation. $120,000 in credit card debt, overdue car loan payments, and a fake law office in Boston. William angrily came toward me. Rachel, that's enough. No, Dad, I said calmly. 25 years was enough. Now it's time to tell the truth. Emma ran over. You ruined my entire wedding. Why? Why did you do this? Because you're my sister, Emma, and no one cons my sister. But you weren't even invited. This wasn't your business. I smiled. Not being invited doesn't stop me from protecting you, whether you wanted it or not. As David was being escorted out by security, he was yelling, This is a planned conspiracy! This woman is crazy! Amanda Peterson entered the hall at that moment. Yes, David's real wife. I had called her. David, she shouted, where are my alimony payments? And what is this new fraud? The hall had turned into complete chaos. Guests were leaving. Emma was crying. The family was in shock. Patricia came to me. Rachel, that was horrible. You broke Emma's heart. David would have broken Emma's heart, I said. I just stopped it before she took more damage. But on her wedding day, that wasn't fair. You know what's not fair, Mom? Excluding me from family photos for 25 years. Not considering me important enough to be invited, but then suddenly being family when I need to save Emma from a con artist. William approached. Rachel, you went too far. This is unforgivable. Good, I said. Because Emma needs to remember this too. And so do you. I turned to Emma. She was still crying, but her anger had subsided. Emma, are you mad at me? I don't know, she whispered. It's so confusing. Is David really married? Amanda Peterson approached. Yes, honey, and he owes me $50,000 in alimony. Emma collapsed. Oh my God, I gave him $25,000. That money, too, is in Amanda's account, Jessica said, just like he did to me. That evening, after the hall emptied, Emma talked to me. Rachel, I'm sorry for not inviting you to the wedding and for always excluding you. Thank you, Emma. But why? Why did you save me? I treated you so badly. Because you're my family, Emma. And family protects each other. Even if you forget that, I don't. Tears flowed. I'm so stupid. Number David is a very good con artist. He could have fooled me too if my job wasn't investigation. Your job is investigation? I thought it was insurance. I smiled. I'm a private investigator, Emma. For the past 5 years. But no one asked. That night, Patricia came to me too. Rachel, maybe we always misunderstood you. Maybe, I said. You always stayed quiet. You never complained. Maybe you were the strong one. Maybe, I repeated. Will you come back to the family? Really this time? I thought about it. I have conditions. Tell me. You'll never say you're being dramatic again, because I'm the least dramatic person in this family. Okay. And I'll never be excluded from family photos again, because I'm part of this family too. Okay. And Emma needs to go to therapy, because she needs to understand why she's attracted to people like David. Patricia nodded. You're right. 6 months later, Emma was actually going to therapy. David was in jail for the money he stole from Amanda. Jessica had gotten her money back. And me? I now sat at the head of the table at family dinners. Because everyone knew that I was the one who really solved problems in the family. When Emma found a new boyfriend, she asked me first. Rachel, will you investigate this guy? Of course, I said. But this time I'm telling you from the beginning. If he comes out clean, I want to give a speech at your wedding. She laughed. Deal. That's how wedding sabotage actually turned into a family rescue operation. Sometimes to show people you love them, you have to stop their mistakes. And sometimes the greatest gift is dropping a bomb on wedding day.